everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Oilers and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Oilers and the San Francisco 49ers. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Now here's Suck about to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back.
Here we go, here we go. Watch two. Here we go, here we go. Set hunt.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check nine.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said,
now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So two plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. On play action, now Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The end result, 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory. Down at the 31. Garoppolo. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in Q1 of the new year. We'll be back. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Here's Breida. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jeffrey Simmons gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45.
Downfield offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Go!
Looking to throw. Love out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this.
Throwing on first down. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
On second down, it's Elliott, and the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Jaworski Tartt came out of Samford University in Alabama, and he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
Throwing on third and long. Love, flush to his right. That one complete to Elliott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's the out, and the ball comes out. Love lost it. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Cut!
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that's incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, this from 53. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively? And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On second down, Elliott. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Back to throw. Love. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now it's Breida. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Throwing to start the drive. Love. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He was trying to go back to Moore there, and it's third down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, a run with Breida. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Here we go.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this open. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm going to hit you all day.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 29-yard attempt.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw on second down. Love.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Love. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return is Pettis. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Hauschka's kick is good, and that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The final shot before break. Love. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where you see the final score there. Zay Jones, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Keenan Allen, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. DeAndre Hopkins, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back to throw. Love. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his crew will take over at their own 4.
Here we go. 180! 20, Mike, 20. No chance.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. On fourth down, Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Now, that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a give to Breida. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. And there will be a break in the action here. They're going to take a timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an out.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. And he's got Sanu. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. This is Breida, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the handoff, this is Breida. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So the victory here for San Francisco, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for San Francisco, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.